What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Saturday night, but for some of y'all, it's Sunday morning, and you know what that means? We are still enjoying the weekend, no matter where you are in the world. I know Monday is looming, but let's just sit in the weekend world for now, all right? Let's just concentrate on the positive. All right, you guys, I have a great show set up for you guys today. I have one story behind the feed and off the record. Juror 160 in the Diddy trial may have met Diddy pre-jury selection. We talked about this a couple of days ago. I have a follow-up. Also, in lead stories, Donald Trump removes MLK Day from national parks. And guess what he replaced it with? Yeah, his own birthday. In quick stories, we're going to talk Tory Lanez, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Nick Fuentes, Candance Owens, Tyra Banks, Elon Musk, Katy Perry, Claressa Shields, and Kash Patel. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Did I repeat that? Question, social discussion, and comments. Whatever. Also, for those of you who are sick and tired of spam phone calls, emails, and text messages, we have a free trial from Aura that will help you get rid of all of that. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on, y'all. It's still the weekend. We're not thinking about nothing else but the weekend. And I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, in our first story behind the feed and off the record, our only story, we're going to touch on this very quickly because this is really, really behind the feed and off the record, okay? There is a picture floating around online of Juror 160. And it says, Juror 160 from the Diddy trial and documentary seems to have met Diddy before, and the thinking emoji. Now, this very well could be AI, but it also could be real. Now, when I first gave my report on the Diddy documentary, I told you guys the thing I was most excited for was to hear from the jurors. For somebody like me who was one of 14 people outside of legacy media that was in the courtroom, having access to the prosecution, the defense team, Diddy's family, PR, et cetera, whatever, the only people that we were not able to speak to, well, actually, to be fair, we're not able to speak to the lawyers. Let's just be fair. You could say hi, bye. You said anything to them, they would not answer you, okay? One time I was in the elevator with Maureen Comey and Tenny Garagos. I was like, hey, Tenny, you're doing a good job. She's like, you could not say anything. So just to be fair, not to get anybody in trouble, lawyers, gag order, they can't say anything. But yes, we all can talk amongst each other, legacy media, new media, et cetera. But like I told you guys, when court was adjourned for the day or even for lunch, you waited for the jury to leave or go for lunch, and we had to wait 5 or 10 minutes for them to disperse, and then we were dismissed. Zero access to the jury. If you ever even tried to talk, you would be banned from the courtroom. So for me, one of the things that I anticipated the most from that documentary was the hearing from the jury. Now, again, everybody has their own opinions about the documentary. We're not going to get into that. We covered that a lot. But a lot of people, I find in particular, are really not talking about the jurors. Now, the one gentleman, he's an older, I think, Indian gentleman, he was pretty much known for saying, hey, I feel like Cassie and Diddy were in a relationship. One hand can't clap without the two. You need two hands to clap. So she was as guilty as he was. Again, that's up to you guys to decide whether you agree with him or not. He is a juror. He had a say out of 12. He decided to find Diddy not guilty of RICO, SCX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion, and then, of course, guilty of transportation. Now, Juror 160, everybody, no matter what side you were on, whether you were on Diddy's side, the prosecution side, or like me, just right in the middle, just talking facts, we all agreed that Juror 160 was very pro-Diddy. She was smiling, very cheerful every day. And because we didn't know their names, we gave her like a nickname, Ponytail. So you may have heard some other content creators or other people refer to her as Ponytail. That's what, we would say, like, there was an older lady that was there. I think we called her Aunt Pearl. And because, we just gave them nicknames. We were there for, I don't know, like a month, 2 months. Anyways, everybody unanimously said that Juror 160 was very, I don't know if pro Diddy is fair to say, but she was like, maybe enamored is the right word. Like, you could tell that she was aware who Diddy was. Like the gentleman, I think it's maybe Juror 75, the Indian guy, even in the documentary, he said, I don't listen to hip hop music. I don't know who he is. I don't care. Anyways, having said all of that, Juror 160, we all assumed that she knew who Diddy was and was into Diddy. In the documentary, she said, I grew up on that music. Like, I know exactly who he was. She even said that when they came to a verdict, she documented and she said verbatim, "Oh-ish," S-H-I-T, because she knew that would reverberate across the world. Like, she knew as a juror what they were coming back and voting Diddy not guilty on RICO and SCX trafficking and only finding him guilty on transportation. She understood the weight of it in the entertainment industry, in the culture. Also in the documentary, she alluded to something that Diddy was warned about. You are not supposed to look at the jurors, and the jurors are not supposed to look at you. The jurors are not supposed to be taking notes, quote unquote, from Diddy. Does he like this testimony? Does he not like this testimony? And if I'm not mistaken, Diddy was warned 2 times. In the documentary, she said, yes, we weren't supposed to look, but it's just normal that you're going to look at the defendant and you're going to look to see some of his reactions from the testimony. And even the judge, even though that the 2 times that he reprimanded Diddy, he's like, I understand you're a human being. There's people talking about you. You're going to have a reaction, but stop the reactions. You cannot, if the witness is being cross-examined, you can't look at the juror and be like, yeah, you see, she's lying. You cannot do that. In the documentary, she alluded to the fact that they met eye contact a couple of times and they both agreed on a couple of things. And I said a few days ago that was dangerous of her because that could be grounds for a mistrial. The judge warning Diddy, and now the juror going on a documentary and being like, yeah, I looked at him. Yeah, I saw his reaction. Yeah, we agreed a couple of times. That is not good. And now there is speculation. Let me get back to my first point. Sorry for rambling. There is speculation that perhaps Ponytail, Juror 160, may have met Diddy before. Now, like I said, this picture could be AI. There's people looking into it or whatever. But there's one thing of, yeah, I know his music, because you say that during the interview process before jury selection. But if she had met Diddy prior, and if they find out that there was some sort of maybe communication between them, that might be grounds for a new trial. Now, I'm not too sure how the prosecution would feel about that. Prosecution has Diddy in jail for 4 years. Do they want to run through all of this again and maybe give Diddy a chance of being found not guilty on all charges? Because once you go through a trial, you have shown your hand already. We'll see. Like I told you guys yesterday, there's a lot that is happening because of this documentary. A lot of things that a lot of people didn't know with Tupac, Biggie, or whatever. There's a lot of fresh information that people are getting. There's a lot of disdain and hatred for Diddy, new hatred for Diddy that's going on. There's cease and desist letters that Diddy's team is sending Netflix and 50 Cent. There's people on the opposite side, like I told you yesterday, that are not happy with Diddy and feel like he's just regurgitating old documentary stuff. Like, there are so many different things that are going on. This is just the latest piece to the puzzle. Juror 160 could cause a mistrial, but what we don't know yet, and it's the weekend, and we'll see on Monday, is maybe the prosecution doesn't want a mistrial. And if there is a mistrial, this would be good for Diddy, because you know that Diddy would love the opportunity to get off freely. He's, of course, applying for appeal. I think it's going down in April, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, as we know, he's still actively trying to get the pardon or commutation. So one more piece to the puzzle, man. Juror 160, this picture and her comments in the documentary has sparked even more drama behind this. Regardless of all of this, shout out to 50 Cent and Netflix. I saw online yesterday, I think the documentary is #1 in, I think 20 countries, and #2 in around 15 countries. And it's on pace to do close to 1 billion, I think it's 1 billion hours or 1 billion views. I think it might be 1 billion hours. So documentary is a success. Shout out to 50, shout out to Netflix. Shout out to everybody who enjoyed it. Shout out to everybody who had their opinion or not their opinion. It has worked. Diddy is back on the mouse and front and center in the courts, in the blogs, in the everything. So weigh in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about the juror 160, and if you think that maybe they had a relationship and maybe this she was planted. It's off the record, behind the feed. Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. All right, in our first lead story, the Trump administration removes MLK Day and Juneteenth from list of national park fee-free holiday, replacing them with Donald Trump's birthday. This is ridiculous. The Donald Trump administration is facing backlash after the Department of Interior announced major changes in the list of fee-free day at national parks. In 2025, visitors could enter for free on MLK Day, Juneteenth, Veterans Day, and the anniversary of Great American Outdoors Act. However, MLK Day and Juneteenth have now been removed from the 2026 list. Instead, Constitutional Day and Flag Day will be added, with Flag Day also being President Donald Trump's birthday. The changes follow Trump's early pause on certain days of remembrance as a part of his ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Tian Moore, executive director of Soul Track Outdoors, calls the move alarming, saying removing free entry day on MLK Day and Juneteenth sends a troubling message about who our national parks are for. However, Secretary of Interior Doug Burgum defended the change. President Trump's leadership always puts American families first. These policies ensure that U.S. taxpayers who already support the national park system continue to enjoy affordable access while internal visitors contribute their fair share. This is absurd. But what we are not going to do is let Donald Trump get to us. I think for this past couple of weeks, I have been adamant in saying that Donald Trump sits down with his marketing team and he says, okay, it's Monday. They're not talking about me. Let's say this. Okay, the 2 National Guards, that incident happened. Let's throw in the Somalians and Minnesota. Okay, that's going to get the people upset. Somebody might say something about Epstein. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. This is just another trigger from Donald Trump. Is it horrible? It is horrible. It's a clear sign. It's a clear indication. But so is Minnesota, and so is a lot of the things that he does. I think that we should try our best to have this reversed. I don't think it's fair, but also not let it get to us and focus on what is really important. And what I think is really important is finding out who is to blame for these Venezuela boat unaliving. I told you guys yesterday that Pete Hegseth, they're starting the impeachment. I would like to see Donald Trump, if Pete Hegseth is guilty, I would like to see Donald Trump may have a part in that. because he is the commander-in-chief. And let's not forget, we are 12 or 13 days away from the Epstein files being released. And I know that this is what it's about. So let's not get distracted and focus on the priority. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, in our first quick story, Tory Lanez appeal denied. Judges uphold sentence. If you guys remember a couple of days ago, remember I told you, I put it in breaking news. I'm like, I just got an email from the court with Tory Lanez and there's something going on with his appeal. Well, this is what it was. I always pronounce the last name wrong. Megan Cuffin. Sorry, Megan. Love you, but let's just stick with Megan. She says, well, that was fast. Tory Lanez petitioned the California Court of Appeal on Monday to rehear the appeal of his 3 felony convictions and 10-year prison sentence for the incident with Megan Thee Stallion. The court denied the petition today with a 1-sentence docket entry. Petition for rehearing denied. Like, it's just one word and that's it. Lanez's lawyers also asked the court to publish the opinion. This has to be one of the easiest decisions the 3 judges assessed Lanez's appeal has ever been made in their lives. Megan really just doesn't agree with this appeal, so she's just kind of like making fun of it. We consider our original decision not to be published to be valid and hereby reaffirm the position. It is denied. So it is done. The court is referencing the request to publish the California Supreme Court. So we'll hear another update when they say no to. Done. Tory Lanez will remain in jail for the remaining of his sentence. The only thing that he can hope for right now is to get out on good behavior. So the defamation case is over with Megan and Milagro. Tory Lanez's appeal and reappeal has been denied. What I say all the time when I talk about this, Megan, I don't agree with a lot of the things that you have done, but it's all over. Please just get back to making some music. You're one of my favorite female artists. It's all done now. Put it behind you. I guess maybe take the holiday, chill, come back out. I want to hear good music. I want to hear a good album and get back focused on being the amazing artist that you are. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second quick story. Tekashi 6ix9ine has been sentenced to 3 months in prison for probation violation. Tekashi 6ix9ine has been sentenced to 3 years for probation violation. The judge called him a dumpster fire and said jail time was required. He now has to report date of January the 6th, 2026. Yo, Tekashi is a fool. If y'all don't remember, Tekashi 6ix9ine spent 2 years in jail. He snitched on a bunch of NYC GANG members. He was facing, 43 years in prison? He snitched. He got out. He refused witness protection. He has somehow been able to navigate and, do a couple of lives, do interviews, and I guess make some money out here. But in the midst of him doing club appearances and doing all of these wild things, he got himself in trouble. And the fact that you snitched, bro, and you beat or got off a 43-year sentence, only did time served, and you're back out on these streets. And like I said, every time I talk about streamers and all that stuff, like I know I feel bad for you guys that you have to do some wild things for engagement, but to get yourself put back in jail after you worked with the feds. You work with the feds and the feds put you back in jail. They called you a dumpster fire. He's just a clown. I want to see how he's going to manage being in jail for 3 months, being a snitch. Being a snitch in jail, you might be able to navigate on these streets. Inside, be very dangerous for Tekashi 6ix9ine. But we'll see what happens January the 6th. From what I'm hearing, there could be some things that get worked out. And although he has a sentence, he could maybe get off with like probation or get off like doing it in like in a luxury place because he is a federal informant. So we'll follow up and let you know. But for now, he is going to do 3 months from what we know. We'll know more in 2016. I'll let you know. All right, our third quick story. Nick Fuentes says Candance Owens is milking Charlie Kirk's unaliving. Nick Fuentes believes, I read this already. Let's just go right to the video. Take a listen.
And Candance is doing it just for like engagement?
I think that's a huge part of it. I think that she cares that her friend died. At the same time, this has been really good business for her. She's getting like 150,000 viewers, millions of views on every show. She's probably making tons of money. At this point, I think she's milking it. It's been like 3 months, and every show is, this changes everything. You're not going to want to miss it. Tune in tomorrow. Where she's like, I have more evidence, but I'm going to wait to release it. Why?
Oh, Candance. As you all know, my daily viewers, I try my best to give people the benefit of the doubt. I tried at every turn to support Candance Owens. When it comes to Charlie Kirk, I have my reservations with some other things that she has done in the past. And she is a hot button issue right now. We actually have something more in quick stories with Kash Patel, the FBI director, talking about Candance Owens. I would say outside of Diddy and Donald Trump, like Candance Owens is that much of a hot button issue. For those who saw yesterday's show, I told you how severely disappointed I was that Candance decided not to show up to Turning Point's studios and do an in-person investigation. I won't go back into it. You guys should check out yesterday's show. I did see a couple of you guys in the comments saying, well, she's not going because she wants to, protect herself. It's dangerous or whatever. Candance Owens, I played you guys video like a couple of days ago. She said, neither hook or crook will stop me. I will be there. You name the place, I will be there. It doesn't matter. Unequivocally, we could do it today. They gave her a time, and she's not showing up. And she even said, she goes, I know it's dangerous. Don't try to unalive me. She even made that joke. And even if she decides, okay, I'm not going to show up, now the fact that she's just going to live stream and not have any direct, like, why can't she just have a conversation with them on lives together? Why is she just going to comment on their live stream? Why doesn't she want to have a live conversation with them? That's telling. Come on. I understand you Candance Owens supporters, and I understand if you say it's dangerous for her to go. But why can't she just tune in live from her studios and they are live on their studios? They are allowing that, and she doesn't want to do that. So I'm definitely not a Nick Fuentes fan. I'm not jumping on anyone's side here. All I am saying is that what I said from the beginning of this Charlie Kirk thing, I was like, Candance, I really hope this is not for views and clicks. And I'm not going to fully jump on this side yet, but it seems like it is that way. You guys have to be fair. Because of this, Candance is now the #1 podcast in the world. And I'm sure she does love Charlie Kirk. I'm sure she does miss him. But the fact that she is making money off of this story, you cannot ignore that. Those views, every click, every day, oh, this text message, this, I have this, tune in tomorrow for this. I'm going off the air, do this. She's not taking all those millions of views and saying, hey, I'm donating it to this or donating that. That's going in her pocket. So I leave it up to you guys to decide. I'm not fully leaving the Candance Owens camp because I do believe that there's something in there, but I find it very strange that she's not showing up or not even joining in live. And I do find it a little disheartening that she says how much she loves Charlie, and she is making a ton of money. And she is making herself very popular off his unaliving. I'm just saying. This money that she's making could go to his kids or could go to, some other thing. From what we know, is going to her in her bank account. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our fourth quick story, FDA approves a new DRUG that could make your dog live way longer. Not just longer, but way longer. A new chapter in pet care just opened after federal officials approved a DRUG designed to help dogs live longer. The treatment, created by biotech company Loyal, focuses on slowing down the biological aging process in larger dog breeds than typically have shorter lifespans. The decision gives Loyal the first FDA backing of its kind for a lifespan expansion medication for animals. The company has been studying how certain compounds can support healthier aging in dogs by targeting the pathway that influences how fast their bodies break down over time. Researchers say the treatment is not about turning dogs into super pets, but about helping them maintain mobility, energy, and health for more years. Larger breeds often face earlier health declines, and Loyal's data suggests the DRUG could help close that gap. Loyal is now preparing for the final steps towards full approval. If everything stays on track, dog owners could have access to the medication in coming years, marking a major shift in how aging is treated in animals. For many families, pets are the true companion. A treatment that potentially adds extra years on life has already sparked controversy, curiosity, and big expectations. Yo, could they do this for humans? Y'all know that I am down for all of this stuff. Bring all the AI, bring all the medications, all that. I want to live forever, and I want all the dogs and all the pets to live forever. I have no problems with this. As long as it's like a healthy alternative, you're not taking any risk. And it is sad that larger dogs, unfortunately, don't live as long as smaller dogs. I used to have a Rottweiler when I was a kid, and I think he passed away when he was 13 or 14, which is pretty good for a big dog. Anyways, pet lovers out there, do you like this? Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, in our fifth quick story, Tyra Banks steps into 52 still snatching cameras like it's nothing. All right, for those of you who are not seeing this, Tyra Banks is walking on the street. She's in a black, I don't know, what do you call this? A normal top or whatever, and it's a little tied in the belly, and she has on black tights. Now, let's just be honest here. She looks like she put on some weight from her modeling days. She's 52 years old. Y'all know me already, how I feel about women aging. I think it's beautiful. I think she looks amazing personally. But of course, some people are dragging her online. If you guys remember, I think just 2 days ago, I played you a video of J-Lo, who is 56, and J-Lo looks slimmer than she did from back in the day, and she looks great. If Tyra Banks wants to, quote unquote, let herself put on some weight, I am all for it. Y'all know how I get down already. J-Lo wants to work out in the gym 2-3 times a day and have that kind of body. Good for her. I'm happy for her. Tyra Banks is like, listen, I'm 52 years old. My modeling days are over. I'm done with the dieting. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. I'm living my best life. Good for her. So there is obviously, people online are going to say this or say that or whatever, but y'all know my stance. Whatever is happy. As long as a person is happy, and I like a little meat on my women, so I think she looks hot. Shout out to Tyra Banks. All right, in our sixth quick story, Elon Musk and Candance Owens claim Nick Fuentes is a federal informant. All right, I don't know how Nick Fuentes got into the Trend Out Loud show 2 times. I don't think prior to the show I've even said his name, but hey, he's in here. Somebody tweeted out something like adding Nick Fuentes and also says he isn't a Fed, and that it appears Tyler Robinson. So I don't know what the thing is or what the thumbnail is about. He's obviously on a podcast or something. And Elon Musk retweeted or commented and said he's a Fed. And Candance Owens said, I'm not an Elon Musk fan, but he's telling you guys the truth about Nick. He works with the Feds and was working with them January the 6th. No way to deny that. So apparently, Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Just want to throw that out there. It's one of the things that I've talked about today. Like I said, we don't really talk too much about Nick Fuentes, but for those of you who care, people are alleging that he's a Fed. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our 7th quick story, Billboard staff ranks the 10 hottest female rappers of 2025. Now, before we get into this list, is this a little unfair that women get put on this hottest list? Because where is the men's hottest list? Now, not like I want that at all, but women, how do you feel about this? That Billboard is making a hottest females rapper. Does that seem a little, I don't know. Is that right? Anyways, first one is Cardi B. Second one is Doechii. Third one is Glorilla. Fourth one is KY Nice. Fifth is Burna B. Sixth is Megan Thee Stallion. How is Megan Thee Stallion all the way at 6? Stop it. Lotto 7. Lotto also got to be up. Number 8, Pluto. Number 9, Mona Leo. And 10, Ice Spice. Nah. You can keep Cardi B up there. You could keep Doechii up there. You could keep Glorilla up there. You got to move Megan Thee Stallion. You got to move Lotto. And you got to move Ice Spice up higher. That's just my 2 cents. You guys weigh in on the female top 10 hottest rapper. And ladies out there, I think y'all should make your own list and say who you think the 10 hottest male rappers are. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have no part of it. But women, I think you should do it to kind of even out the playing field. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our 8th quick story, Katy Perry makes relationship with Justin Trudeau Instagram official. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau make their relationship Instagram official, sharing a photo and video of their trip to Tokyo, Japan. Okay, guys, why is this relationship such a thing? I don't get it. Between Megan and Klay Thompson and Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau, I literally, could we stop? These are full-grown adults. What are we talking about? It's an Instagram official? What are we, in high school? This guy's a former Prime Minister of Canada. And she's a big superstar. Can we stop it? Stop, please. But for those of you who do care, and those of you who do like this relationship, they're officially Instagram official. Gosh, sometimes I hate my job. All right, in our 9th quick story, Claressa Shields says she has $100,000 for any girl who could beat her in a fight. Claressa Shields is confident a non-professional boxer can't beat her, that she will put up $100,000 to any girl off the street that feels like they could put hands on her. Who do you think that can handle the quote in the ring? Okay, y'all know I'm the biggest Claressa Shields fan there is. Love her, but Claressa, I understand that you can throw down. I understand you're one of the best ever. But there's some girls out here that can throw down. I would tread lightly with that $100,000. There's some girls that are not out here playing around. So I love you, and I understand you're talented in the ring. And I don't know if you mean actually in boxing with gloves, and technically, maybe. But if you're talking just in the street and just throwing down and doing whatever, I would keep that $100,000 tucked, because there's some girls on here that are not playing around. Let me know if you guys think, or let me know if you guys know of anybody that could take on Claressa Shields for $100,000 in the comment section below. All right, in our 10th quick story, I should have put this a little higher because this is actually really important. Kash Patel responded to Owens' allegations, stating that TPUSA was not involved in the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. Kash Patel responds to Candance Owens' allegations, stating that TPUSA was not involved in the claims she raised about Charlie Kirk's unaliving. Now, Megyn Kelly, who y'all know I'm not a big fan of, or not a big fan of Kash Patel. I do think the fact that they have this interview and they're talking about Candance Owens does hold a lot of weight. So shout out to Candance. Just remember, this is the director of the FBI. There's nobody higher. And he is sitting down here talking about Candance Owens. Now, while I will give her credit for that, he very, very confidently literally throws out everything Candance has been saying for the past 3 months in one note. Like, I'm going to play the video. Megyn Kelly says, hey, Candance is saying that TPUSA had something to do with this. He's like, nope. He's not like, well, we're in that. No. Again, we're going to leave it. We're going to see what happens with this December 15th. We're going to see what happens with Candace's proof. We're going to see what happens in the trial. Everything will come to fruition. She can't keep hiding. I will say one thing, though. After Megyn Kelly asks him that, she does ask Kash Patel about the unaliving that Candance Owens says that the French government, the Macrons, she alluded to the fact of them putting out an unaliving hit on her. And Kash Patel says, not that he's seen any proof, but he does say that we take any threat seriously. So if an American is threatened by anybody outside government or not, we look into it. He doesn't say that her allegations are true or not. Candace said that the FBI left her message unread. She did say that it was on Donald Trump's desk, but Kash Patel just very broadly says any American that has any threat from anywhere will look into it. So on face value, those two things, he is literally discrediting Candance Owens completely. Here's the video. Take a listen.
Do you have any credible reason to believe that anyone connected with the Turning Point organization had anything to do with Charlie?
Zero.
On the subject, there's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candance Owens that she's received a death threat from the French.
Any American that receives a threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
All right, y'all. This brings us to everyone's favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. All right, before we get to that, I have a very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Hold up. Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend-out-loud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone and why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. You get a real-time fraud alert if any of your credit cards or banking information is found on the dark web. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based around-the-clock customer service, the best customer service you'll ever want. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes, not offers, includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. You are covered 360 degrees with Aura. It's the holidays. I know that you've gotten a spam phone call this week. I don't even have to ask. I know you've gotten a text message sometime this week, and I know you've gotten an email. Now, you might want to sit there and deflect it and not press on the link and think you don't need it. What happens when you make a mistake and something comes through that looks legit and you click on it and all your information is wiped out? Make sure you have a digital security protection regardless. But if I were you, I'd click the second link below or use the QR code beside me and sign up for Aura. It is absolutely free for 14 days. They could show you the information that's out there. Forget about the links and the phone calls, whatever. Your information is out there and you're at risk, or it could take all of that stuff off absolutely for free. Make sure you use the link below or the QR code beside me. Okay, I don't have a super chat today. Y'all don't love me, man. All right, let's go to random comments. Like we do every day, even if we have a super chat or not, we do a random one. So I go to newest, I scroll down, I show you guys, so I'm not picking and choosing whether it's a good comment, bad comment, whatever. We stop. And this is a short one. Friday nights remind me of Johnny K, R.I.P. All right, let me just do one under this. This is from Pearl Sugar. I criticized you a bit today, but you definitely deserve a pat on the back for your comments about women and your overall support of us. Thank you. Yes, we do need more investment into understanding and dealing with menopause and everything else that women cope with and suffer through. But don't forget, you guys have to be part of the conversation. It helps you understand who we are and what we are going through. Well, thank you, Pearl Sugar. And I'm totally fine with whatever you want to say. This is a safe space, and I don't know what you criticize me about. It's probably about Diddy or probably about Trump or whatever, but please do not have any hesitation to criticize me. I'm not always right. I always just speak from my heart. And we're trying to build a platform here that is open for critique and comment. And I'm always open to hearing everything. So thank you very much. But I do love the fact that we can at least commonly agree that women deserve every single thing that they want when it comes to any sort of reproduction, pregnancy, menopause, or just women's right, period. So at least we can agree on that, and I appreciate your comment. All right, for those of you who are interested in giving back to the show, I'm going to explain to you guys how to give a super thanks. Super thanks has come up when a lot of people have asked, hey, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? We want to give to the show. You work really hard 7 days a week. The best way to give back to the show is the thanks button. It's at the bottom of every single video we post. You just click on it. You'll get a little sliding tool, I guess. You could slide and decide how much you want to give. All right, I think there's even like some preset buttons. Whatever the amount you give is welcome. What I love most about the thanks button is that you could change the thanks to whatever comment you want. You could just leave it as thanks. It gives me like a notification. It's kind of like sending me a text message. I'll like it, heart it, I'll reply right away, and I'll read it the next day out live on the show if you want to. So here is YouTube explaining it better than I can. I mean, I try every day, but nothing better than YouTube.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right. Also, for those of you who are looking for other ways to support the show, please sign up to the Out Loud membership today. It's the first link below, or you'll see a join or membership button above me. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. I also do a weekly vlog. Yes, I said every day that I'm going to do one. I will do one next week. I promise, all right? But make sure you sign up. It's really fun. When you get to the membership window, you'll see different levels: Out Loud, Proud, Family, MVP. That was just people asking us, like, hey, we want to give it a little bit more for the month. So we gave different amounts that you could choose from. Just know that whatever Out Louder level that you want to get to, we're all one happy family. We're all on the same level. So depending on which one you choose, it doesn't matter. We all have the same access, okay? It's just deciding on how much you want to give. All right, let's get to social discussion. I think we have a very interesting social discussion, to be honest with you. A Turkish court rules liking another man or woman's picture on social media can be considered infidelity if you're married. A Turkish court has ruled that social media likes can be considered a factor in divorce cases if they undermine marital status. The ruling comes after a husband reportedly liked posts from another woman, which the court determined contributed to the breakdown of the marriage. While the decision does not label likes as sexual infidelity, it treats them as evidence of behavior damaging to trust and loyalty between spouses. The higher court upheld the decision, signaling that online action may carry legal weight in marital. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Marital disputes. Experts note that the ruling applies to these specific cases. Experts note that the ruling applies to this specific case and may not be universally binding across all Turkish courts. The decision highlights the growing influence of social media activity on real-life relationships and legal proceedings. Okay, so it's not official, meaning that could be grounds for divorce, but it does play a part. Now, I wanted to bring it to social discussion because this, if you're in any sort of relationship, you know that this has come up. Social media, oh, you like this picture, oh, you like this, you follow this person, you do whatever. What role does social media play in your relationship? Now, I am going to agree, not with the court. I wouldn't think that, well, I think the court was being fair. They're not saying like you liked it, so that means it's grounds for divorce, but it could play a bigger picture. So although I don't agree with it being grounds for divorce, and neither does the court, I'm not a fan of, or I wouldn't be a fan of my wife liking a picture on a guy's Instagram, depending what the picture is, right? Like if it's something that's whatever, but if it's something like, he's, I don't know, showing something off, or, it's a picture of himself, like a selfie, it's like, what are you liking that for? And like, what are you telling that guy? And then what does that guy think that you liked his picture? Like I said, basing on what the picture is, like I said, if it's a selfie and he's there like posing off and he's like, yeah, from the gym ripped, and you're liking that, we might have to have a little talk. But that's just me. Very, forthcoming when it comes to that. Every time we talk about like, girls with guy friends and stuff, like I don't play that. I do not play that. I'm very upfront about it. And whether you disagree or you agree, what I think is most important in relationships is that you set those ground rules from the beginning. And if a girl doesn't like that, then as long I feel as I tell her in the beginning and she's like, hey, you're not the type of guy for me because you are like this, then that's fine. What I feel like a lot of guys will do in the beginning is find a girl, okay, she's hot, like I want to be with her, like, oh, everything is okay. And then 2 years into the relationship, they're like, I don't like your guy friend and I don't like that you're like this on Instagram. No, if you're going to be this way, because I feel like everybody has a right to their things that they like, whether you agree with it or not. But I think what's most important is say what is going to be from the outset. It doesn't have to be on the first date, but within the first couple of dates, to at least allow the girl or guy, whoever you be with, to say, all right, I respect it, but it's not for me. So y'all sound off. Let me know what you think about your partner liking and following people on Instagram in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. If you could erase one thing from the planet to make life better, what would it be? All right, first person said stigma about mental health. Well, y'all know I'm a big mental health advocate, so love that. Imagine how much lighter life would be if people felt safe to heal, talk, and ask for help. Well, I live in that world, but yes, I know not everybody is as open about their mental health as I am, but it is my hope that more people can, because it's up to us to take away the stigma around it. And that's why I'm very open. I do my talks. Shout out to Charlemagne and Dr. Alfie doing their mental health conference every year that I've been, it's been a pleasure to be part of for the past 3 years. But I always say every time I'm on that stage, I hope 20 years from now that we're not going to have the mental health conference, because it's just going to be so normal that we don't need a conference or a day to have a safe space. So I know I'm getting off topic, but y'all know how I am about mental health. Another person said sin. Woo, that's a good answer. If you could erase one thing from a planet to make life better, what would it be? Sin. Imagine a world with no sin. Oh, isn't that like, don't we have sin because Adam and Eve bit the apple, and then now like it was the snake that was like, yo, bite the apple, and now you have the apple, and now we have sin. And if that didn't happen, then we'd be in a utopia. Somebody said cancer. Yes. Hate. Woo, that's a good one. Imagine a world with no hate. Wow. But I sometimes like haters. You need haters. You need haters sometimes to let you know that you're doing a good job. to let you know that, you're doing things out here. I don't hate haters sometimes. Another person said any type of unaliving or hurt, etc. Bills, that'd be good, but it's a little bit unrealistic. Another person said the comments help. Okay. Somebody said Donald Trump. Yeah, I feel like everyone's necessary, man. I feel like Trump is necessary. Somebody said men. I agree, because I don't like men either. Trust me. And yes, I understand that I'm a man, but I try my best to be like the best version of a man. But I'm still a man at the end of the day, and I feel like men suck. Another person said cancer. Another person said deadbeat parents. Somebody said remove FUPA. What? Social media. Well, if there was no social media, there'd be no Trend Out Loud show, so no. Another person said hate, violent, crime. Just peace and love would remain. Oh, that would be amazing. Crime. Imagine getting rid of crime. That'd be great. Greed. Woo, that's a good thing. Somebody said those. Okay, no, can't say that. Another person said bills. Can't say that. Can't say that. Some of y'all are mean, man. Somebody said lust and Neanderthals. Can't say that. Can't say homelessness. That's a good one. Very good one. Another person said men. Rent. Rent's a good one. All right. I'm going to leave the rest. Somebody said Nigerian politicians. Ouch. I think unanimous was cancer or any sort of disease. If you could have one wish and get rid of one thing on this planet to better the planet, what would it be? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all. That is it for today's show. Thank you so much for kicking with me. I thought we had a good little Saturday show. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of 3 things. For those of you who are looking to give back to the show, please do not hesitate to use that thanks button below. Give back to your favorite YouTube host. Another way to give back to the show, please sign up to the Out Loud membership today. First link below, or you have the join button above us. Also, give back to yourself during this holiday season and sign up to Aura. Very, very dangerous to be out online out here, so make sure you sign up to Aura. Also, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on every single podcast platform there is. Just go to any pod site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time I upload a new show. And if you're listening to this today, you know that we work on the weekends and we upload 7 days a week. All right. Thank you for the support and for the listens and downloads. Now, if you're like me and you like to watch your show, you need video, head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. The show will pop up. I'm going to need you to do 6 things. First 2 things is hit that algorithm. First 2 things is hit that like and that subscribe button. Get the algorithming. It's the weekend, y'all. Give me some grace. Get the algorithming. The third thing I'm going to need you to do is please comment below. If you guys are not joining in on the conversation, I'm just out here talking by myself. I bring the topics. Whether you agree with me or not, please try to comment because you guys are my co-hosts. Now, for those of you who do not want to join in on the conversation, I do not want to make you feel pressured, but I do have a second idea. Please try to comment where you are watching from. One of the things I do every night before I go to bed is I look at the comment section and I love to see how global this podcast is. So if you don't want to join in on the conversation, at least let me know where you're watching from, whatever country or city. I love it. Now, fourth thing, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps them grow in the channel. And like I say throughout the show, we are here to grow this platform and this community. So please try to share any show that you're liking or the channel just in a whole. Fifth thing, please sign up for the Out Loud membership. And sixth thing, please use that thanks button and give back to your favorite YouTube host. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. I'm the most active on Instagram. However, you could always find me Trend Out Loud, no matter what platform. Talking about Instagram, please follow the Trend Out Loud show on Instagram. We work very, very hard on this page, although this week we've been kind of slacking, I'll admit. But most of the time when we were active there, we put most of the videos that we put during this show onto the Instagram page. As you guys know, YouTube has a lot of restrictions, a lot of copyright, and we can't put things in its entirety. So make sure you follow the Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. You can get all the videos, and it just gives you a 360 link to the show. You'll see different stories throughout the day. When we post up the show, you're already kind of like looped in and know what you're doing. I know what we're doing and the things that we're talking about. So make sure you follow us on the gram. That's it for me. Make sure you come back tomorrow, same time, same place. I clearly cannot talk. I need some sleep. Make sure you come back tomorrow, same time, same place. I hope you have a great Saturday night or Sunday morning. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Turn Out Loud. Peace!